This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, out with the news that the Chinese regulators passed new rules to slow the use of borrowed money to buy Chinese stocks in an effort to prevent a stock market bubble. In doing so, this caused stocks to fall sharply around the world. What do you think of this, sir?
I think it was a long time coming. The Chinese have been raiding my ports for so long, and the Spanish Navy has had such a hard time keeping them off of our shores and off of our borders. I think it's time for the Chinese bubble to burst.
Now, Chinese investors have been investing heavily in small cap stocks. Do you think it's right for the Chinese government to try and stop this?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Now, earnings reports are coming out this month. Do you think this is an attempt of the Chinese government to play the stock market?
Say again? Earnings reports are coming out this month. What is your problem with the Chinese government right now? Let me ask you a question. What do you think is going on?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Oh, well, they're trying to slow down their economy so they don't have a bubble.
So they don't?
Yeah.
And that impacts us how?
Well, we do a lot of trade with them.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would you like to see happen?
Me, as a journalist or just for real?
Well, you must have some sort of angle on this because all of your questions are about the Chinese government and
Well,
stocks.
That was the top story Friday.
Right. So where are you? What's your stance on it?
My stance is to be neutral because I'm a journalist.
You're neutral on it.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Really? Flip of the coin, you wouldn't care either way?
No.
You have a. I know you're.
Well,
being,
I'm on camera, so I can't be too.
You're being objective right now.
Yeah.
Or subjective rather.
Yeah.
But off the record, what do you feel about it?
Use of borrowed money is risky when you're investing.
I see. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So now
This is Clark Kent for where are you from?
predatory lender.
Predatory lender, everybody.
So
Oh, we'll get one more. God damn it.
so earnings reports.
Can I say God damn it on film?
Say whatever you want. Earnings reports are coming out this month. Do you think this is an attempt of the Chinese government to play the stock market?
I think the Chinese, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. They're going to play the stock market like a game of Parcheesi. You know who's going to lose? Everybody else. Or not. I love the Chinese. I love the Mandarins. The Cantonese can go fuck themselves.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Kong Hafa Choi, Bong Kanaloy.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network saying, live long and prosper. This is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, out with this news that Chinese regulators passed new rules to slow the use of borrowed money to buy Chinese stocks in efforts to prevent a stock market bubble. In doing so, this caused stocks to fall sharply throughout the world. What do you think of this?
Well, I don't know much about bubbles, per se. I don't take many baths, you see. We in our guild, we don't have a lot of time or money for soap, so we don't really take a lot of baths. But as far as borrowing money, I don't blame those Chinese fellas because I ask people if I can borrow money all the time, and everyone always turns me down. They say, Maud, what do you have to offer us in return? And I say, just a joke or two. I'm a foolie. I'm a jester, you see. But they've always heard all my jokes and they're never interested in it. Now, these Chinese, is this the Genghis Khan fella I've heard so much about? People come into the village and they tell us about him, all his crazy doings around in that part of the world. It's quite frightening, is it not?
Yeah.
Seems like if you're marauding that much, you wouldn't really need to borrow a lot of money. I don't know.
Now, Chinese investors have been investing heavily in small cap stocks. Do you think it's right for the Chinese government to try to stop this?
Oh, I think they should be able to wear whatever kind of cap they want to. See, I like the bigger ones because it keeps the sun off of you. But in China, I don't really know. Does the sun shine a lot or does it rain a lot in China? I don't know. I think they grow rice over there, and I think that requires a lot of rain. I'm guessing there's a lot of rain. Maybe that's why they have all the small caps. All right. I think so.
Earnings reports are coming out next month. Do you think this is an attempt of the Chinese to play the stock market?
Oh, well, I've never met any Chinese people personally, but I bet they're a lot of fun. I bet they like to play games, so they probably do like to play whatever the stock market is.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
No, just that I'm going to be listening out for any specific news on the Chinese now because I'm really interested to see what happens with their caps.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network saying live long and prosper.
And Maggie the Magical and Mad Maud Madigan. Thank thee.
Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, out with the news that Chinese regulators passed new rules slowing the use of borrowed money to buy Chinese stocks in efforts to prevent a stock market bubble. In doing so, the stocks fell sharply around the world. What do you think of this, sir?
Well, I believe that if people lived more like hobbits, they wouldn't be so inclined with monetary and material values. They're greatly resilient to such things, and I think the Chinese would learn.
Now, Chinese investors have been investing heavily in small cap stocks. Is it right for the Chinese government to try to stop this?
Well, I would have to say no. I don't think they should be able to stop this. Just as of they are trying to be kind of like how Sauron and Saruman were trying to rule the entire mid-world.
Now, earnings reports are coming out this month. Is this an attempt by the Chinese government to play the stock market for their advantage?
I would probably say yes. They always want to make things look good for themselves. But
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the folks?
I would have to say
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory Lending Network, signing out. This is Clark Kent on the Predatory Lending Network, out with news that Chinese regulators passed new rules to slow the use of borrowed money to buy Chinese stocks in efforts to prevent a stock market bubble. In doing so, this caused stocks to fall throughout the world. What do you think of this, sir?
Ew, I enjoy stock. A good chicken stock does wonders for the soup, especially if you're reusing ingredients from earlier in the week. Yes, I approve of stocks. Beef stock? Yes, it certainly does wonderful things for vegetables.
Now, the Chinese investors have been investing heavily in small cap stocks. Is this right for the Chinese government to stop this? Chinese investors have been investing heavily in small cap stocks. Is this right for the Chinese government to try to stop this?
Oh, you mean the Nipponese? In the east? Aye. Is it right for them to stop the people from using stock in their soup? Oh, no. Everyone has a right to soup. Aye. All things in moderation, though. Even soup. Aye. I like some just good bread and water. Moldy bread and dirty water. You know, all eyes towards heaven. We'll have our reward there. Plenty of soup in heaven. I bet they have heavenly stock. Aye.
Now, earnings reports are coming out this month. Is this an attempt by the Chinese government to play the stock market?
Play? Oh, no, you don't want to play in stock. No, you'll get all sticky. And then there'll be strange hairs in the soup. No, I wouldn't play in it if I were you. No.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say?
Yes, go to church.
So in closing, this is Clark Kent from the Predatory